All right, footy fans, get ready to join the chat as we talk everything about footy. Here at the NRL Live Chat 2.0 podcast. Here are your hosts, PJ and Breno.
Yes, good evening, footy fans. Welcome to another exciting episode of NRL Live Chat 2.0 podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Breno, and as always, joined by the one and only PJ. Hey, PJ, how you going?
How you doing, man?
Yeah,
Been
not too bad.
a exciting week, I tell you, of football. We've had a coach sacked. We had a whole bunch of big scores. I can't wait to get stuck into the chat.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've got lots to get through tonight. Some of the things you just touched on there as well. Be sure to join in on the chat as well. Comment away. If you're joining us live on our group page today, comment away. If you're listening to us on our audio podcast, be sure to check out NRL Live Chat 2.0 Facebook group. Join in on the chat. All right, let's jump into it. So, round 8, PJ, interesting week. What did you make of it in overall?
It was a very interesting week. Some big scores. Unfortunately, my team went down hard, but your team got a win. So well done, Breno.
Yeah, about time.
Newcastle Knights back in the winner's circle.
All right, before we go too much further, we did a little poll yesterday. I thought I might start with that. It's poor old coaches are copying it a bit at the moment. There's a few under pressure. We put up the poll for these three coaches: Des Hasler, Brad Arthurs, Jason Demetrio. I put it out there. Who do you think is under the most pressure? And obviously, Jason Demetrio was the clear winner or loser. I don't know what you call it there. That was yesterday, and then today we find out the news.
Loser.
Yeah, Jason Demetrio has been sacked by South Sydney Rabbitohs. I really want to get your thoughts on this one, PJ. Your team.
Yeah, tough, very tough, mate. It kind of had to happen. You know, the team fell off a cliff midway through last season, coming first after 11 rounds and then not even making the playoffs. I don't think a team's ever done that in the history of the game, been first at the halfway point of the season and then not made the playoffs, except obviously the Bulldogs and Storm when they were cheating the salary cap. So I don't think anyone's done it legitimately. You know, our fans knew too, Breno. Our fans at home, they had most of the votes up on Jason Demetrio. They knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, definitely looked like it was going to be a sure thing at some stage. We just didn't know when, and it just happened to be this morning. So, it's a bit unfortunate, and I don't like how people blame the coach for it's the players that are on the field, but in the end, the buck's got to stop with someone, and unfortunately, coach is the one who organises the team. So, hopefully, they can go forward from here.
He's got to have him up for the game, mate. And
yeah. 38% of teams win after their coach gets sacked too, so there's still a chance anyway. Let's get into the results from round 8, Anzac round. What have we got, PJ?
It was a cracking round, mate. The Warriors at home. I think a lot of people tipped them to beat the Gold Coast, but we said last week they've been so close the last couple of rounds, and it wouldn't surprise me if they got up and the Titans got home 27-24, much to the dismay of the New Zealand people out there. I'm feeling for you. In the Anzac Day mid game, Roosters 60 versus the Dragons 18. It was a shocker from the Dragons. I can't believe how rocks and diamonds they've been this season. Roll the dice to work out which Dragons team's going to show up. Roosters, they had it easy, but they played some really good football, And then we went into the late Anzac game, Melbourne Storm. Rabbitohs really didn't have anything, scored a couple of late tries to make the score somewhat respectable, but 54-20. That was definitely the end of Jason Demetrio, that result. It's just not acceptable with the quality of team that South Sydney have. The Friday night game, Manly versus Parramatta Eels, 32-18. I thought it was a really good game, Breno, actually. Referee got a big call wrong, which I picked up live, I must say. I put it on our group that Tommy Turbo was offside from that kick He was offside from that kick, and Parramatta ended up getting someone 10 in the bin for tackling him without the ball when it should have been a Parramatta penalty 50 metres downfield. Graham Annesley came out on Monday and said that was the wrong call, but that the video ref isn't eligible to make that call because it isn't a situation of foul play and or a line dropout or a try scoring situation. They're the only three reasons the video ref can come into play, and that wasn't one of them, which is really unlucky for Parramatta. But then Mike Acevo had his brain explosion and he got another 10 in the bin just to help Manly with 2 late tries and to seal the game. Feeling for the Parramatta fans out there, it was a good performance after a bad week last week.
Yeah, it was a pretty good game. We go into next Saturday, into the Saturday games. We had Broncos taking on West Tigers, 34-10. Easy winners there. Panthers stopping the Cowboys from a comeback too, 26-20. My Knights finally got up, 18-14 against the Dolphins. And
the Knights
round out the round with a massive scoreline. Didn't predict this one. Sharks 40, Raiders 0. Shut them out. I thought it'd been a lot more closer that game, but Sharks looking really good on top of the ladder at the moment, which we might cross over to.
That shocked me. That one, Breno.
Absolutely.
Because, I think the Raiders are a bit of a bogey team for the Sharks. They've beaten them quite a few times down in Canberra, but the Sharks were just unbelievable. They're definitely putting themselves down as title contenders.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So we'll just look at the ladder after round 8. Got Sharks up on top, as we just said, after that cracking win. Yeah, there's not much in the middle though. There's still some teams pretty close together. Bulldogs jumped into the top 8 after their bye, but that just goes to show how close it is in the middle at the moment. Not many points between last.
Dolphins slipped a bit with the loss.
Yeah,
Dolphins slipped a bit with the loss. Roosters back into the 8 with their win. Canberra, have been top 4 the whole season, have dropped out of the top 8 altogether after their hammering. And West Tigers starting to find their normal position on the points table. Hopefully they can get a couple of wins and keep moving up. We love the Tigers going well.
There's Craig. Good on you, Craig. Go Manly.
Go Craig.
Yeah, just spare a thought for this one. Under 18s Queensland match. 26 tries were scored by the Burleigh Bears with this crazy scoreline ending up 130-0. I'm trying to find my graphic. It's disappeared.
130. Stunning.
It's crazy. Anyway.
Yeah, big result.
Let's have a look at our tips.
How'd you go on the tipping, Breno?
Well, this is probably the best week I've had, even though I lost the first one. The Titans finally getting a win. I don't think many people would have tipped that. And the other one was I'm not a true supporter. You've heard it here. I tipped the Dolphins against the Knights, and Knights turned around and won that one. So I got 6 out of 8, which is okay, I guess. How'd you go?
We had the same.
You did the same, yeah.
So same score. And you are a true supporter, Breno, right? Maybe that's a question we should put to our viewers out there. Yeah. Are you a true supporter if you bet against your team? I think you're a smart supporter if you think they're not going to win to not tip them.
Tip in your head, not your
heart. I've got the Bunnies wrong once this year, all year. Yeah, once all year. Manly game, round 1, I tipped South to win. Every other week I've got South correct. Yeah. Win and loss. So I think I'm a smart tipper and a loyal supporter.
Leslie Crawford saying, should I change my picks now? Well, let's get through. How about we get through the round 9? We'll go through all that, and then you can decide afterwards. But so we'll get into it. So round 9, here we go. Game number 1 on Thursday night at Accor Stadium. We have the Rabbitohs and the Panthers. Rabbitohs paying $5.50 after their embarrassing loss against the Storm, sitting in 17th. Panthers are sitting in 5th after their nice little win against the Cowboys. Penrith are chasing their third straight victory. So what's your thoughts on this game, PJ?
Oh, mate, Moses Leota's back into the front row. Taruva's back. Tyrone Peachy's back on an extended bench, but he's back. South have sacked their coach. It's not looking good for the Bunnies. I'll be there. I'll be there Thursday night cheering them on, but I'll definitely be tipping Penrith this week. They're just coming into form and looking really, really good.
Yeah, I'm tipping the Panthers in this one as well. And it's going to be Damien Cook's 200th NRL game. Yeah,
right?
So there's definitely something to play for the Rabbitohs. And don't forget that stat, 38% of teams win after losing their coach. That's 16 out of 42 teams. Who knows? Anyway.
Wow, 38%.
All right, let's go to the next game. We kick off Friday night with over at Four Pines Park with Sea Eagles and the Raiders. Raiders are paying $3.06. They're sitting in 10th with the Seagulls up in top 4 there in 4th. After their nice little win against the Eels last week, Raiders massive loss against the Sharks, 40-0. Who would have thought? Anyway, I'm going to tip the Seagulls for this one, I think. Well, actually, I've got a little video I want to show you last week. Luke Brooks' tackle on Ryan Madison. Absolute cruncher. Here he comes. Whoa! Massive hit. Luke Brooks taking out Ryan Madison. There's a bit of a slow motion replay. Let's watch that. Oh, yeah, nasty. Anyway, what's your thoughts on this one? Anyway, after that.
Yeah, well, Manly at home. I don't think have they lost a game this season at home. Manly fans, maybe let us know in the chat. I don't think they have. They've been great. They've had a couple of games where they've gone away, like to the Dragons down at Wollongong, and just not turned up. And there was one other game, I can't remember it now, but Manly at home are just another level. You know, Raiders, Ricky will absolutely have them up for this. He needs a reaction out of the team after a 40-0 loss like that. I think this is going to be a cracking match of the round probably. Canberra desperate, and Manly haven't been super. So I see this one going down to the wire, but Manly in a close one.
Yeah, Anthony Seibold will reach his 100th NRL match as a coach, so good on him. Wish you all the best. All right, the other Friday night game, we head up to Suncorp. We've got the Broncos and the Roosters. Broncos are sitting in 5th, Roosters in 7th, not far behind, but they've got $2.46 on them for this match for the win. That's probably interesting since their nice little win they had against the Dragons last week, and Broncos had a win against the Tigers. But I think I'm going to tip the Broncos in this one. But what are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I'm going the same way. Brisbane at home have been really good. Roosters been scratchy. That performance last week was amazing, but they're building. I can actually see the Roosters possibly snatching this one. Victor Radley's back in. Ezra Mam's back in. Yeah, cool. Adam Reynolds last week on one leg played better than any South halfback has for the last 18 months.
That was a great tackle.
So Blake Solly, fair dinkum, mate. Hang your head in shame, you know. But Adam Reynolds is just keeps getting it done, and I think this is going to be another really good game. I'm going Broncos, but I'm not confident.
Yeah, righto. Adam Reynolds. Speaking of him, needs 8 points to become the first player to score 200 points against the Roosters. So that's a bit of a milestone too, something to aim at. All right, let's have a look at the next Saturday game.
Plenty of them for South Sydney.
Yeah, let's hope. All right, head over to Accor Stadium again for the Bulldogs and Tigers. Tigers are paying $2.96, sitting down in 15th. Like I said before, Bulldogs just snuck in the top 8 thanks to that lovely bye they got last week. Bulldogs supporters are getting their grand final tickets as we speak. But I'm going to tip the Bulldogs. I think they might have them over this weekend. What's your thoughts here, PJ? Bulldogs, Tigers.
Yep, I'm going Bulldogs. I'm going Bulldogs as well. Jacob Preston back. I think he's been out since that head injury in the South Sydney game. I'm not sure, but Bulldogs are definitely getting better each week. Sneaking into the 8 with the bye is always fun. But the West Tigers, they're just not consistent enough for me to win this sort of game. I think Bulldogs will be up for it, and Bulldogs will win that one, probably 1-12.
Yeah, I think I've got 13 plus. Okay, so we'll head into game number 5, and we have the Titans taking on the Storm. Titans sitting down in 16th. Storm, second, but let's say Eagle first. They're up there with the best. Titans are paying $4.95 after they got a win against the Warriors last week, and Storm with that nice little win over the Rabbitohs. I'm going to tip the Storm for this one. What's your thoughts on this one, PJ? How are we looking?
Yeah, I think after the Titans' big win last week, they'll be buoyed by that, but they're facing a white-hot Melbourne Storm team, or a purple-hot Melbourne Storm team, I should say. They are a very, very good, well-drilled side. There's no weaknesses in the team at all. Yeah. Xavier Coates, losing him is going to be tough, but Tyrone Wishart is always really good on the wing when he's had to come in, Des Hasler's only won one of his last 7 matches against the Storm. I don't see that changing. I'm going Storm 13 plus.
Yeah, the Storm have won 9 of their past 10 games against the Titans. So. There's a couple of milestones there as well on the screen. You've got Christian Welsh, his 150th game, good on him. And Cam Munster, 200 NRL games. That's a massive feat. Good on him. All right, let's go into the other Saturday game. We're going to head up to Queensland Country Bank Stadium. Cowboys are taking on the Dolphins. Cowboys sitting in 9th, Dolphins 6th after their loss against the Knights last week, and Cowboys after their loss against the Panthers. So both coming off a loss, keen for a win. I'm tipping the Cowboys. How are we looking? What do you reckon about this one?
Dolphins for me. Both these teams are actually pretty similar at the moment. They're not playing great football.
Yeah, I agree.
They've had a couple of outs. Kenny Bromwich is now out. Tabuai Fido's still out. But the class of the Dolphins, I think that should just get them home. But the Cowboys forward pack looking good. I think they're a big chance. Nanai, Ruben Cotter, sorry. They need to stand up at home. They play really good at home, and this is a game they have to win. This is a team they're going to be battling for a top 8 spot with.
Yeah.
So the Cowboys have got to fight for it, but I think Dolphins in a close one.
The Cowboys had a good comeback last week. I thought they might have taken the Panthers right at the end, but I think they just ran out of time. Okay, so let's go into the next game on.
Panthers know when to switch off.
Yeah, they did. All right, Sunday we have McDonald Jones Stadium. We've got the Knights and the Warriors, both sitting in a similar position. The Knights on 13th, Warriors at 12th. Knights paying $2.19, interestingly, after their win against the Dolphins, and the Warriors after their loss to the Titans. They'll be keen to come back and get another win against the Knights. I am going to tip the Knights. I'm going with my heart this time, and they're at home. So yeah, what's your take on this game, Knights and Warriors, PJ?
Yeah, I'm going the same, mate. I think the Knights were good last week. Really stuck in there. They reminded me of those, doggy kind of fighty Knights teams from the 90s, mate. They just had really tough defence with Harrigan, and who was the other bloke in the back row? Name's just escaping me. Mark Glanville. Yeah. Really, really strong team in the 90s.
Definitely had a solid team then, yeah. I was a little bit impressed too with our, after last week's amazing debut, Davey Armstrong filling in for Ponga. Some good stats there, 189 metres, 11 tackle breaks, 2 line breaks. Also scored a try on debut. Well done. Let's forgive him for the 2 handling errors though. It was definitely instrumental in the Knights' win last week against the Dolphins. Sort of reminiscent of the GOAT, the immortal Andrew Joey Johns. I've got a little bit of a video here actually Going back, I'm going to take you back here to round 1 of 1994. Blast from the past. Here we go. This is Knights versus Rabbits in March 1994. Round 1 clash. Joey Johns picks up his second try there on debut. Just going to line up his 8th goal. And there's a good little interview after this too. I love how the commentators are talking him up here. And he strikes it. It's going. Oh, it's hit the post. It is the commentator's curse. So he got 7 out of 8. He also kicked the field goal. Scored 23 points out of the 43-14 win, earning him the Just Jeans Man of the Match award. How prestigious is that, PJ? Here's the little interview. It's pretty funny.
Congratulations on a magnificent game. Thanks, mate. It was good playing behind the forwards today. They went forward, and it's good having Matt beside me. Gave that impetus early in the game, the forwards, with all that go forward, wasn't it? Yeah, like Truth said through the week, we've got to go out and go full ball flat out and match their enthusiasm. That's the one in the Challenge Cup. So the forwards went out and they won it for the first 20 minutes. Tremendous having your brother alongside you. Must have given you a lot of confidence in first grade today. Yeah, mate, he helped out a lot. He jumped in first for serving, call the shots, and I sat back, so that helped me out a lot. Well, Andrew, on behalf of Just Jeans, please accept the Just Jeans Man of the Match. $250 worth of clothing from Just Jeans.
Love his teammates giving a bit of banter in the background.
Throw away the stubbies.
Good on you. Throw away the stubbies, he says. Just Jeans, $250. Yeah, they're probably going to get you a pair of jeans these days anyway. So that's my blast from the past. Okay, let's move on to the next game. Last game of the round. We have Sharks and Dragons over at PointsBet Stadium. Dragons are paying $4.60 as the Sharks are flying high on top in the first spot. Dragons down in 11th. Sharks massive win last week, 40-0 against the Raiders. Done fantastic. I'm going to tip the Sharks. I think this one, and I think I'll put 13 plus on it too. So, what's your thoughts here? Who have you got in this one?
I'm going exactly the same way. Sharkies way too good last week. Really good at home. Up against the Dragons team. I mean, roll the dice. Let's get some dice and see if we can roll a 2 or roll a 12. We can work out if the Dragons are going to be good or terrible this week, because that's what it's going to come down to. Local derby. They're always a big game. I remember I was down at Shark Park that day with the missus when Mark Riddell missed a conversion from the sideline from beside the post. They were 18-16 down. He would have tied the game with about 2 to go, and he missed the conversion from almost right in front, mate. It was hilarious. Couldn't find a video on it, but if you got the video, send it in. We'll show it next week. Sharkies 13 plus.
Definitely, yeah. If you can go more than 13, I would. The end of the game was a bit of an interview. This is hilarious. Cam McGuinness with an interview. They're not looking too pretty. There goes the modelling career. I'll put him back up there again. Yeah, he apologised for his appearance. He usually looks better than this. Missing a fang, got blood coming out of his eye. Oh dear. Yeah, the modelling career is definitely gone. Unlucky there, Cam. Okay, that's round 9. That's wrapped up for. Let's hopefully get some good footy this weekend, and I'm keen to watch it. All right, let's go into some breaking news. If I can find the right button. There it is. Hey, there we go. Breaking news. All right. So as we went to air last week, we learnt some sad news. Former New South Wales Australian centre Terry Hill passed away. One of rugby league's larrikins and just a legendary player all round, pretty much. He had 246 NRL or ARL appearances with 89 tries. I've got a bit of a video there with the first and last try.
Hill, 9 metres short
Scored his
still.
first
It's the
try,
fifth tackle.
round 1, 1990
From
against the
goes
Bulldogs.
Back inside to Hill. Hill gets
Yeah, he also played for South, East, West, Manly and West Tigers
And South
between
Sydney have scored
1990
the first try of
and
the match.
2003.
And
I
they
think
lead
the only
4
team he
points
didn't
to
play was
2.
North.
Here's Harris
He
now,
had some New
also
South
out there
Wales
in 14th
appearances
and nearly a
and
good
kangaroo
second man play.
jerseys.
And Terry Hill will
11
get
tries
across
for them.
and score a simple.
Our thoughts with his family and friends, and obviously the NRL or rugby league community as well. So a bit of sad news there.
Yeah, very sad news. Terry Hill actually, South Junior, played for my junior club, Zetland Magpies, back in the day as a child, and you know, a lovable character, mate. I remember hearing an interview, and he said, "All I want to do was play for South Sydney."
Yeah.
You know, and he got that. Unfortunately, we were garbage, and he ended up leaving and winning a premiership at Manly. But good on him. But fantastic player. He was so funny on the footy show. Such a fantastic, funny person, and it's a really sad loss.
Even
for
even
everybody.
the Lowe's ads. I always think of the Lowe's ads when they came on. Used to be on there with a few of the bullfeds, and yeah, they were pretty funny. Anyway, let's have a
He
look.
always used to have a spray, right?
That's right. I mean, other breaking news. Well, it's not so.
We had breaking news out of the Roosters, right?
Yeah. So not so breaking. It's a couple of days old now. But Luke Keary is set to retire from the NRL at the end of this season. He's also got 150 club games coming up for the Roosters this weekend. Yeah, good luck to him. Good career. I don't know what else you can say.
Yeah, great
little
player.
player.
I remember South signed him. I think it was 2014.
Yeah.
Yeah, South signed him in 2014. I think they got him a little bit overweight, and brought him in, and we won a comp that year. You know, he was fantastic, and he won 2 more with the Roosters, 3 premierships.
Yeah.
Fantastic player, just really creative. Big loss to the game. Surprised he's going so early, Breno. I think maybe someone might try and pick him up. He's finishing his Roosters career a year early, which is always convenient for the Roosters salary cap, let's say. But I'm sure someone will pick him up, whether it be... Yeah, exactly, yeah. So someone will pick him up locally or overseas. Once he leaves, I wouldn't be surprised if he signs a 1 or 2 year deal in England or with one of the clubs in the NRL. So watch that space, I reckon. There's something that's definitely going to happen there.
All right, I think it's time for my most favourite episode of this show. Let's have a look at PJ's tip of the week. Go the Sunnies. Okay, PJ, what is your tip of the week? And we're going to get a win this week, or what's going on?
Well, I got 1 right the first time. Last week I got 2 right.
Hey, we're moving up.
The Dolphins upset really tricked me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting better. We're 50% now, so we're on our way. So here's my tip of the week. You ready?
Drum roll.
Panthers 13 plus. Sadly, Panthers 13 plus. I'm going to go with Bulldogs 1 to 12. I'm going to go with Melbourne Storm 13 plus. And I'm going to go with Sharks 13 plus. Alrighty? They get those bets in, gamble responsibly, but hopefully I can get 3 or maybe get 4 this week.
That'll be even better, yeah. Rake it in. Yeah, couldn't do any worse than last week. Anyway, I had a few shockers on the side there. But, okay, have you got anything more? Because I think we're just about wrapped up here, are we? No more comments out there?
Mate, I'm done, but yeah, thanks to everyone for the comments coming through on the page. Really appreciate it. We got lots of good feedback about halftime, full-time scores, so we're putting those in the chat now so you guys know what happened in each game. And if you want to hear about something, maybe a team, you want an opinion, message us, and we're more than happy to share that in our podcast next week.
Yeah, love hearing your thoughts and insights, everyone, so make sure you comment away. Join us next week for some more thrilling NRL action right here on NRL Live Chat 2.0 podcast. I'm Breno. Good night. Good night, PJ. Enjoy the footy.
I'm PJ. Until then, good night.
See ya.
Go the Bunnies.
Go the Knights.
joining the chat. Join Breno and PJ next week for some more NRL live chat. Goodbye.